Good morning, YouTube. It's Monday. It's not horribly early for me. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning for me. Um, Hope everyone had a good holiday weekend. Those of you who celebrate the 4th of July, the Independence Day, the day that that actually was not a holiday until I think 1941. But anyway, I digress. A couple things I just wanted to mention over that I heard about over the holiday weekend. First of all, and those of you who had better things to do than I did may not have heard about this, but Jesse Helms. Are you familiar with Jesse Helms? He was a evangelical neocon nut job congressman. Know this guy, Jesse Helms, who has thrown support towards Jerry Falwell and Pat Robertson and all the nut jobs, all the evangelical right-wing nut jobs. And had made our lives miserable here in the United States for years and years and years until he finally stepped down from his position. I think he was actually a senator, which is worse than a congressman because senators have much more power. He died over the weekend. He's dead. Jesse Helms is dead. Now, I realize that this may not make me sound like a good person, but I never claimed to be. I try to be honest with everyone, try to be honest with you all. I never claimed to be a good person. I'm a nice person. I think I'm a nice person. But hearing about the death of Jesse Helms made me want to dance a jig. And I don't dance. Well, if I get drunk enough, maybe. But it takes a lot of beer to get me to dance because I'm just not coordinated. So I usually don't even bother to try. The last time I felt that pleased about someone dying, I think, was when I heard about Jerry Falwell turning into worm food. These things, I realize that this is a little bit morbid, but one less evangelical asshole to deal with is one less headache in my life. And these people who have consistently kept us from evolving as a society, when they go, I have no choice but to want to dance and sing. Don't worry, I won't do that for you. I'm drinking coffee, so I'm not going to dance and sing. Can't sing very well either. I know you find it hard to believe with this monotone. Anyway, so there's that. And two. This is a little disappointing for me, actually. So it was an odd balance in terms of news. Barack Obama, the candidate who I have already stated that I'm going to vote for in the upcoming November election, came out and saying that mental distress, and you can look this up on Google, that mental distress, I think I saw it in either the Washington Post, the LA Times, or maybe the Huffington Times. Maybe. Anyway, Barack Obama came out and said that mental distress is not enough justification for a late-term abortion. I find this bothersome. As you might imagine, I'm pro-choice. And I'm pro-choice because I really don't think that the government's in a position to make individual moral decisions for us. And I think that that's a personal choice, and that should remain a personal choice. Without abortion in this country, making it illegal, or first of all, overturning Roe v. Wade won't make it illegal. All it'll do is kick it back to the states, and then it'll be a state-to-state issue, like they're trying to do with gay marriage here. If they kick it around in the states long enough, then every state will go to the federal government and say, hey, we need to solve this problem, which is why we have Roe v. Wade. But if abortion is illegal, it's not going to stop abortions. And those of you who are pro-life, claiming to be pro-life, anti-abortion, right-wing evangelical nut jobs, you have to realize that making it illegal will not make it stop. All that will happen is that people will fall through the cracks, back alley abortionists will be back in business, and not only will fetuses be destroyed, but the mothers will die too. Or even worse, we'll just hand out coat hangers to unwed mothers. Why don't we do that instead? Because they deserve to die, right? Because they're just whores, because they had sex. So, it's bothersome to me that Barack Obama came out and said this. Now, it didn't surprise me. Me being disappointed and me being surprised are two different things. Didn't surprise me. And the reason it didn't surprise me because, and I've said this before, as much as I'm optimistic about him and what he might be able to do for our country, given other sets of circumstances like the congressional and senatorial elections that also go along and local issues that are important on the ballots. As optimistic as I am, I also realize that he is a politician. And so is John McCain, by the way. Anyone who runs for public office is, by definition, a politician. And regardless of what they say, part of the reason they're there is because they like, maybe they want to accomplish something, but they also like the power. And that statement about power corrupting, yes, it does. Always, always, always. There are no altruists in the halls of power. And so, as much as I agree with most of his policy statements, I was really disappointed by his coming out on this issue of mental distress. Because I'm not sure, because if you follow that thinking process through, that leads us nowhere. So that was a little disappointing. And the other thing about it that's bothersome, beyond the policy ramifications, is that the right-wing neocon news machine is jumping on this stuff. I watched Fox News Sunday, and Brit Hume was moderating, and he did everything he could not to jump out of his chair and take flight like the fucking vulture that he is. They were just that excited. I mean, he was jumping around and hopping and shit, and he never does that. He's usually like, stiff like, fucking dead oak tree. But it's just, they're jumping on this stuff. They're jumping on these things that he's doing to appeal to the center, and that's bothersome. Now I realize that he has to do that, but I don't know. I wish that he hadn't said that. And I wish that instead of hedging, I don't think it's flip-flopping. I think he's hedging. I think he's being a politician. And all politicians do this. John McCain has done the same thing on several issues. You want to look at Anwar? He keeps flip-flopping on Anwar. And you can say, well, he changes his mind. And when John McCain is changing his mind with Barack Obama, he's flip-flopping? No. It is what it is. People change their minds, but politicians hedge on issues because they're trying to pool in the maximum number of votes in an election. There are no more superiors here. Okay, I'm just talking in terms of policy and things that on Barack Obama's website, what he would do for the economy and with the war, that's the basis of my support. But I think that the only thing that's more disappointing than his statement is the way that the corporate-owned neocon news machine is using this against him, and I think it's going to bite him in the ass. So there we go. I don't want to get into a discussion about abortion. I really don't. So please, 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 please don't throw Bible verses at me, and don't tell me I'm going to hell, and don't tell me that life begins at conception, and don't tell me that it's a sin against God. Okay, don't waste my fucking time. Okay? Because the fact of the matter is the government has no right to make individual moral decisions, and that's what it is. And you people that want it to be illegal are thinking with your head up your ass. This is Mick. Happy Monday, kids.